Do you need a set of speakers just to have speakers so that other people can hear what you're doing, or do you not like having headphones on your head, or do you really like RGB? If you're in either of those categories, then these might be the ones for you. Good afternoon, welcome to Turbo Tortoise Tech. If you're new here, I'm of the 4-piece Frontier Walkie Triple XL. And I was given one of my absolute favorite things to test, speakers. I love speakers, even though headphones generally have way better soundstage, and because, well, they're right on top of where they need to deliver their audio, it's a lot easier to keep them contained and to get the proper audio through. But I always just love speakers. Speakers is the thing. I don't know, it just catches my attention. Every time I see a set of speakers that I don't know about, I'm like, oh, I really want to buy those and just try them out for the sake of trying them out. So yeah, when I saw Monka made a set, I was like, give it to me right now, Evetech. So we've got the SG-500s, which we will start off in a traditional manner with what's in the box. So you get a box, you get a set of speakers, and inside is a little red envelope with the manual. And that's about it. And that's all you really need from the speakers. The physical build of these, the actual towers themselves are flipping like kind of bunker-like. They're really, really solid. Like, they are built quite solidly, and it's like a 3-piece frame where the top is held together by this ring that's over here, and then on the front you've got these metal grills over here encapsulated by ye olde RGBs. And then 2 little like red tabs up top, which I think they just put there so that they would look cool finished. And it might be part of their mold system to put these speakers together. Overall, from a physical perspective, they're pretty solid. And the back, or the underside as well, is fully rubberized. So they're not going to rattle and stuff on your desk, which is kind of cool, I've got to say, from that perspective. Then if we look at the connectors, they just default aluminium with a normal USB type A and your 3.5mm headphone jack. They do also have an inline volume controller, which can turn the lights and the speakers themselves on and off. And however, when you do turn them on and off, you are going to get ye olde pop. So that way you'll know if they're working or not. Otherwise, they don't generally give too much feedback. I did notice that if I have the USB in the PC and then connected like to my phone or something, there is a little bit of electronic feedback. So the shielding inside here, probably not the best ever. So you might run into areas where you get a bit of coil whine here and there. Now, design-wise, like I said, these are kind of good, like in the way that they've put these together. If we look inside that grate, you're going to see the first of 2 speakers. These have a bass resonance type system. Around the back, you're going to notice that bass resonance area that comes out of there. There's not a lot of sound that comes out of there because it's just for reflex. The speaker's actually pushing the sound forwards, which is kind of cool. The only other speaker that I've seen with this are the Creative Pebbles, which basically have the exact same type of setup as these. So yeah, they actually design-wise are very clever, and it's got the kind of acoustic polish from a build perspective that I wasn't really expecting, to be quite honest. The audio from these is a little bit tinny, especially right at the top. The horn part of the speaker overpowers the woofer side of the speaker, so it does get a little bit tinny up on the upper end. But if you run them at like 80% volume, it cuts back on that quite a bit. I did, however, find that in gaming, especially with me being now addicted to Assetto Corsa, playing a lot of the vehicles that have like very high-pitched audio, it was a little bit harsh on my ear. I would have preferred if it was a little bit less treble, honestly, just to clean it up. Like, it doesn't feel very warm, the audio from it, a lot of the time. The mid-range is very good, so for gaming or playing Dota or something like that, it's going to be fantastic. I don't see you using these to play Counter-Strike on them. I'm pretty sure you're going to use headphones to get your audio positioning more accurate. And these actually have a really good stereo split. They've got very good directional audio. Wherever you point them is where the audio is going to go. It can easily fill a small room with its audio, and they can go pretty loud. They can absolute max out without distorting, that being about 82 to 85 decibels. I tested with a couple of songs and the absolute most I could get out of them was about that. If you drop them to 50% volume, it's going to cut as much as 20 decibels. So there's not a lot of range on the volume controller, but you're not going to really use it anyway just because of the design. It's in line over here and not extended out of the speaker. I think what they should do for future iterations is rather than have this here, have it come out of a line out of one of the speakers or put it on one of the towers itself. A pass-through for a headphone jack would also be quite nice with these, just so that you can plug in a set of headphones directly into this so you don't have to reach behind and swap out. That would be a nice little added function. If they can get a slightly better tone from these speakers, just cutting out some of the really high-end stuff, I'd say probably 8 kilohertz and higher, it gets a little bit loud compared to the rest of the speakers. I was kind of impressed by how much bass they created. They actually, like I say, on a lower volume, they actually do feel a lot warmer than I was expecting. I didn't expect a lot of bass from something this size and with speakers, as you've seen pictured, of that size. It's just less moving diaphragm. It's not going to be able to do low throw bass. So I'm actually kind of impressed overall with them. They're for $350. I would say, however, they're not going to blow you away. I think a $50 discount would be nice, Marvo, to get these kind of at that sort of price point. But if you like the way they look, then it simply becomes a no-brainer. I also think that this is a little bit clumsy in the way it's been implemented. It's got nice functions and controls. The dial doesn't feel terrible, doesn't like wobble on its socket. It's got some pretty positive feedback as well. It's pretty good overall in its, like I say, in its build quality. It's just they got to this point and they're like, guys, where do we put the volume controller? Oh, we'll just do it inline, it'll be fine. And then it's kind of awkward. The cable's also not exactly long. If I just remove it here from the PC quickly, you're gonna see that it's not what I would call lengthy. So unless your PC is on the desk, you're not gonna get the best setup from this. The split on these is also a little bit limited. It doesn't go very far. So yeah, it's not built to be like a be all end all, but as a nice looking ornament on your desk that you can just play back some stuff for your mates, it's going to be perfect for that. It's really good with vocals, which is a funny one. It was like for listening back to YouTube stuff, content from other like gaming creators or something like that. It was very good in that respect. Watching a bit of movies and series and stuff off of them, also really not bad. Not huge volume, but also doesn't distort. So they've got a good balance over there, and the fact that it's all USB powered, it's pretty nice. Overall, I'd give these a solid, I'd say 7.5 out of 10. I really would like to see these made just a bit longer, and instead of having this over here, put it either on the speaker tower itself or an inline volume control out of that. Anywho, that is all I've got for you on the Monka SG-500s. If you've enjoyed this review, please do us up with a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.